Hello, hello, everybody. Sometimes after a long day of wearing stickers to celebrate your cohort, Pepperana's 1K subscriber stream, where she was like, bet I'm going to do temporary tattoos, and then didn't have them and messaged you and was like, can you get me fancy stickers? And you came through. You just got to kind of take off all the stickers, like the space flamingo. Space flamingo. And also Space Dinosaur that you wore in celebration with her while you ate a pizza on camera. Whatever. Anyway, sometimes you got to take off your face, talk about comics, and drink a nice little cocktail. So welcome to For Everyone Media's Comic Cocktail Hour. Yay!
Yay! Nope.
So far, every time you've played one of those videos, Todd, because Todd is our man behind the screen, I've had to burp at the end of every single one, and I get so anxious.
I designed them that way. It induces burping.
Oh,
I get
Is that why that is? Oh,
You know,
That's a great video editing skill to have.
Yeah. It's a, you know how there's like a brown note, allegedly? I have the burp note that I use.
And that's a greater fee for those who want to use Todd's services for the burp note. So hi, welcome to Comic Cocktail Hour. Today's Comic Cocktail Hour is about, what is it? Comics by women, femmes, and fatales. We are going to be talking about women in comics, be them writers, letterers, colorists, artists, or maybe if we are skilled enough, Todd, editors who are women, femmes, or fatales, giving you our recommendations and our little synopses about these stories that we've loved that were created by some underrepresented group. We are also drinking Belvedere's or various proportions of them. I think, Nick, you've got just bourbon.
Well, there's an ice cube in there.
One.
Too.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So you got two parts of the cocktail in there.
I actually have like bitters and stuff that I could use too, but I didn't.
You know, one of the things that we like when it comes to our cocktail hours is you make your cocktail the way you want your cocktail. So could it be just ice that's melted into water? Or
Sure.
hi, comics
That's
will break
about
your
as
heart.
mocktail as it gets, honestly.
Right? Could you do it like Todd showed us earlier, where you use actual oh my god, Kat, sorry, where you use actual alcohols? Could you be like me, where it is a mocktail made with non-alcoholic spirits from Liar's brand, which also have like
Comic
really
Cocktail
cool
Hour
labels.
brought to you by Liars.
Liars. It's a mock alcohol.
Won't you lie with us?
You'll never go back. Anyway, yeah, I actually really like it. They got rid brands, whatever. Great. Okay. Bet they have a lot of flavors. So that's what I'm drinking, a Belvedere Liar style. I don't know, Jamie, what you got?
I've got the Belvedere. Liquor store didn't have Campari, so it's just like whatever Google told me the best substitute was.
Yeah.
Which was
So
what?
that it's red.
whatever
in the
Google
bottle.
said?
I honestly, it's whatever Google said
Cool.
at the time.
Okay.
It was a day.
Sweet.
Your results may vary.
Yeah.
Best
Yeah.
substitute
Still bourbon, so you know.
Campari. Red Amaro?
Basically,
Amaro.
Yes, yes,
isn't
that's
it?
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, Jamie,
Hmm?
do you want to introduce yourself any more than that?
Oh yeah. Hi, I'm Jamie. My main thing on here is I on the panels, and then I write for Here Everyone Reviews. Usually every Friday I've got a new review up, but sometimes I step out of the way and let other people take some time to share their thoughts in writing. So yeah, that's me.
A truly humbling experience, stepping out of the way of other people. Love you for it.
It's less work for me for a week, so you know.
Right?
There you go.
Big brain shit right there.
Big brain game, yeah.
Nick, who are you?
And then, I'm Nick. I'm a host for Comic Burrito, and I'm here for Comic Cocktail Hour to just hang out and actually probably learn some things. I think, because in preparation for tonight, I found that I'm very lacking in this area. So
there we go.
I didn't want to miss. At first, I thought maybe I shouldn't do it, but then I thought, well, what better way to learn than to be here?
But Nick, love you being open to a new experience. Thank you for being here, if mostly just to absorb. Red, our guest of today. Hey! What brings you here? Who are you? Tell.
So I am one of the former hosts of the Nerd Crusade podcast. That ended. It was kind of bittersweet, but you know what? Now I'm kind of writing on my own fumes. And honestly, being invited to this was really cool because I got to go through my entire collection and go, women in comics. Okay, let's look for that. And I didn't think of any off the top of my head, and then went, oh, now I've got a stack.
Hell yeah. That's the good shit, is when you like think you don't have anything to match it and you find far more that does. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining us, and I'm sorry to hear that Nerd Crusade faded away.
Don't even worry about it. Listen, if you want to follow me on Twitter, because I think I'm funny sometimes, it's @CycleRed, but you got to spell it wrong. It'll be fine.
So it's also in the description. You can just click on it, and you don't have to worry about spelling.
There you
go.
Clink on it, because we clink here.
Yeah,
Clink.
Cheers on it.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Clink.
But last and certainly not least, because he does everything that looks pretty was done by him. It's our maestro of mechnology.
Nice.
The person who makes us all look good.
I do makeup for everybody.
I like to blame genetics for how I look today.
Blame? You mean
thank.
Blame, thank, whatever. Anyway, Todd, who are you?
Oh, hey, I'm Todd. I like to make things pretty, and I try to do my best here and on Comic Burrito and on all the other shows. I also do it for Lack of Faith Designs at lackoffaithdesigns.com, where supply chains are freeing back up, so I'm going to be getting like shirts going again, which I'm real fucking excited about because
I'm so excited.
That sucked, but yeah. So here's a little like proof of concept for possible future things you can find in the store. I've got like 5 that I made in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, and then and just a big fan of comics and women who make them.
Just a fan of women.
I am a fan of women. It's
women
true.
Are pretty neat. Freaking neat. Yeah. So before we try to jump into the book club, I want to kind of like maybe give some more time for people to kind of like swing by, check us out. It'd be really, really nice. So I just kind of want to hear what's something cool that's happened today to y'all.
You flasher.
I'll go because I actually did some. I have been putting it off a very long time, but I have been needing to organize all of my floppies, and I started a little bit the other night at like 10:30. It was like I'll just kind of like look at it and get a feel for what I need.
Mistakes are made.
And then it was like 1:30 in the morning, and it was like okay, here we go. So today
it's like that scene from Rugrats. Like, why are you making chocolate pudding? It's 10 p.m. I've lost control of my life.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, it was like, oh, and now it's midnight. I should wrap this up soon. Oh, now it's 1:30. How did that happen? But yeah, so today I feel really accomplished. Like I got everything done, but in all actuality, I didn't touch my DC, which is about half of the books. And I didn't get my Scout or my Source Point and a couple others done, but all of my like current stuff is good to go, which is
legit.
So,
nice.
Good.
Except for DC.
That's any surprises in there?
Yeah. Any surprises?
The only surprises that I get, unfortunately, are like, oh shit, I bought 2 of these. And then one of them's pretty new. I think I got it last week. It's that the Jock Dark Knight, but it's the big one. So I'm gonna see if they'll let me bring it back because it's like brand new and they're usually pretty cool about that. But yeah, that's usually the only surprises that I unfortunately get. That and the surprise of, oh my God, I have a lot more of these than I thought I did.
You didn't find another Ice Cream Man #1?
Not another one, no. But
nerds.
Yeah.
So I also finished sorting through some comics, and that was a little sneak peek. I bought this box of comics for like $130, half expecting there to be absolute junk in there, and I was right. But there was like just crap in there. For example, did you know Snakes on a Plane had comics?
Yeah,
I did.
What?
I did.
Done by Wildstorm.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's great.
I didn't know about this.
So those are all the comics and all the Wildstorm stuff, and like, you know, the Authority 37, 42, and 12 that I'm never going to complete. They're all in a box to give back to my local comic book shop.
There you go. Yeah.
Somebody that can enjoy them, or that can be thrown in a dollar bin where they belong.
And the cycle continues.
Yes.
The circle of life.
Whereas I was able to keep comics such as
The Swashbucklers. Is that it? Yeah.
Swords of the Swashbucklers.
Swords of the Swashbucklers. Swords.
Which
It's the
definitely puts
pirate
a goose in the cover.
multiverse. Yeah, I just love the idea of a Marvel pirate verse, and disappointed that it's not marketable enough to keep coming back. It's the
What I learned was Marvel ate this company called Epic, and then Epic published their comics, but with the Marvel titles still on them.
Awesome.
So at like 16 or like 12, Swords of Swashbuckler was just an Epic title. Now it was a Marvel Epic title.
Okay.
That makes sense then.
Weird.
Weird.
So I kept it for comics history reasons.
That's fair.
Good.
I'm gonna just nod and feel like I understand because I just don't, but it's fine.
It's okay.
Wait, is Epic EC? No, I don't know.
No, but some of those were in there too.
Oh, legit. Okay, Todd or Jamie, what'd y'all do today?
I'm just gonna hold up what I did because this was basically it.
Ooh, I like that one.
I like that one a lot.
There's
I'm
that.
really looking forward to when you send those to us. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna love my free one.
I don't know where I also have a pink on black as well. So I did the or black on pink. So I have the mirror of this as well.
Is it actually the mirror where it's backwards?
No, that's this one that I was going to end with. But my first one, because it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I made them. And this is my misprint that.
Hell yeah!
Red should have that one because his camera.
Then you can be mirrored. So this is my misprint. It's going to be highly valuable because of that.
It belongs in a museum.
And then
comics history right there.
I love that one.
All right.
And there we go.
Cool.
I thought of Aaron when I made this because it's all red and then like it's all big, blocky, and bold, and I'm like, oh shit, Aaron's gonna like this.
Fucking love big.
And there's no
bold,
periods setting it off for people on Twitter to get angry at us about.
And then come back to later. Like, what the fuck? Anyway.
So let us know which one you like the most, and maybe that'll be what shows up on the shop. So like this or that or the other one. If you want the mirror image one.
Listen, the one you're wearing definitely reminds me of like the DARE program.
Totally. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
And I'm all 100%. For it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's basically my like aesthetic. Bright, depressing, and DARE.
Live your truth, Todd. Live your truth.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So me, I went to
oh nope.
Oh, wait. Hey, Pap.
Pap, I hope your 1K stream is going amazing.
Yay. All right, cool.
Jamie.
Dare to read comics. Jamie.
Oh yeah. So I went to there's a Geek Girls Brunch Club in town, and we had our monthly meeting today, and we had went to a pizza place downtown, and then like only like 2 of us ordered pizza. The rest of us ordered chicken and waffles. Which
Amazing.
so good.
Amazing.
So it was that, getting to hang out with other geek girls in town, and then going to Lowe's, buying a lighting kit to redo my shelves, and liquor store.
I say this to you with as much love as I possibly can, but that sounds a perfect lesbian Saturday. Like,
yeah, I'll take that.
There you go. Like,
Yeah.
There you go. Beautiful. Well, I think I already said what I was doing. I went.
We all do.
Yes. What did I do? I went to lunch. I bought too many books, and I went to a winery for a wine tasting. And then I came home, and then went to Pep Stream, and put stickers on my face, which are now on my computer.
And day drink.
Look, there were fraternity boys at the wine tasting. It was Mother's Weekend.
Classic.
Which is super sweet. Love that for them. Very loud. But the fraternity was conscientious because like they split their frat group in half, where like one group came for like the first 2 hours and then this other group came later. And I was like, all right, you're thinking ahead. Love it. And then they did make the mistake where they kept letting the door slam because there was like a really strong breeze through the building. And so me, my friend, and the owner, we were all just like staring at them every time they left. Just like all of us would turn and very blatantly stare, like not even politely. We like, because the door was behind us. But at one point we did call one of them out, and then from then on, every frat bro who came out would just slowly shut the door and not let it slam. And we're like, you're trainable, you're conscientious, you're here with your mom, you look like you're 12. Precious. So
good times.
Nice. Yeah, it was nice. Anyway, that was my day.
Nice.
Now I'm here. So, women in comics. I feel like I could make up some spiel about like women and make it sound poetic, but like frankly, the truth is that women are underrepresented in the creator community of comics. Now I know some people are like, why are you calling writers and artists and letterers and shit creators? I don't know what else to call them besides like artists.
They create parts of the book, and that's a perfectly fine name for them as far as I'm
legit
concerned.
Fair. They are creators. They're really underrepresented in a lot of anthologies, a lot of major titles, a lot of major publishers. Like if you look and pay attention, they're usually going to be a dude. And more often than not, as one of the hostesses of Girls Talk Comics, I get a lot of questions like, "What's up? Who's a woman in comic I can interview?" And I'm like, "Bitch, they're everywhere." like there's entire hashtags about them. Like, why are you asking me? Like,
started by one of the greats herself,
right?
Yes.
Okay, so we thought, why not have this conversation about women in comics kindly, and just give you recommendations and talk about how the woman on the creative team contributed to said book. So we're going to talk about our faves, or whichever ones are just kind of on the top of our care list right now. And like, who wants to start? Red, you're our guest.
Do you want to go first or last? Let the guest decide.
Oh my God, no! Please let me go first. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So right.
Go. Okay.
Doctor Who, big passion of mine.
Okay.
Not only is there a podcast coming about the 13th Doctor, which we've been promised is queer and trans, featuring Jodie Whittaker as the titular Doctor. So it's all sorts of things that I like.
Amazing.
But Jodie Hauser, the person who started this and was incredible, is an absolutely great Twitter follow, by the way. Nailed the 13th Doctor specifically. Like, nailed it. Okay?
Yeah. Have you read any of Jodie's other stuff?
13 variants.
I might own the first copy of that. Was there a Peach Momoka variant?
There sure was, and I'll get to her later.
I bought that.
Legit.
Nice.
Legit.
So what I did was I bought them all.
See, I'm not caught up on Doctor Who, so I didn't pull the series because I'm behind.
Jodie Hauser is a great person, great author to follow. She does a lot of different IPs and fucking kills it with all of her adaptations. So yeah, it's a great
And
one.
also, if you just like send her $4 or $5, she'll send you the digital version of a comic she did.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
cool.
Let's drop her Venmo and then everybody just be like, "What's up?"
Yeah, I'll go find her profile right now.
Send me a number 1 of anything. Let's just go. Randomize the shit. Send me a number 7. Who cares? Like, I think that's great. All right, Red, popcorn. Or do you want to talk more about Jodie Hauser?
No, that was the long and the short of it.
Legit.
Because I got a whole stack here, so I want to let everybody else go here first before.
Have you read the other Doctor Who comics from Titan? They're good. Because I bought like a whole like a bunch of them. So okay, good.
So like quick rundown, right? 8 Doctor one, it was super simplistic, but really good. Really like, okay, so Titan Comics does this thing where they really nail all the characters except for a couple times. And in fact, if you liked Dan Slott's Spider-Man, I did most of the time, 90% of the time, 89% of the time. Anyway, he is about to jump on and writing the 10th Doctor and Martha series.
The 10th Doctor.
Exactly. And he has shared
my
pictures of it.
Resurrection.
Nice.
He shared a whole bunch of it on Twitter, and I have already I've already told my local comic shop, just put that series on my pull list, and I'll just keep gonna keep going.
Yeah.
I'm so
sorry. Good.
John.
It wasn't that good. It got me.
Red, I was listening to everything you said. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But Jodie Hauser is a great recommendation for also fans of Critical Role and Stranger Things. She did those adaptations too.
I've got them behind me. The Critical Role, so good.
Fucking, she got that voice. She can capture that, replicate it. Fucking great skill set. Great skill set. Love that recommendation. I'm so happy. Somebody else goes next. Red, you pick.
Ooh, nice. I like
Jamie,
it. That's fun.
Who?
Jamie.
Ah!
Amazing.
So my first in the stack would be Heathen by Natasha Altarisi, I think is how you say her name, and then Rachel Deering on letters. Volume 3, they brought in another artist. I forget her name, but she was also really good. I wrote the review for this on Here Everyone Reviews a few weeks ago. I adore this series because it takes place in Norse mythology, but it's about a girl who's kicked out of her village for being a lesbian. And so she decides, you know what? I'm gonna go rescue Brunhild, who's been cursed by Odin, and I'm gonna rescue her not to marry her, as you're supposed to, but just to free her because fuck Odin. And then when Odin finds out and's like, hey, motherfucker, you can't do this. She's like, okay, I'm going to go kill Odin. Like, I'm just going to go take this to Odin. It's like, it's such a, just like you would see this from like a male perspective of like, this guy's going to go off and try to kill Odin to prove his honor. And she's just like, no, I'm doing this because people don't take women seriously. They think queer people are bad. I'm going to be brave so I can show everyone else that we are brave people and that we deserve the same amount of respect. And like, fuck yeah, I can get on board with that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What a power fantasy, right?
Oh yeah. It's the omnibus. They're re-releasing it in an omnibus next month. So you can get all 12 issues for like $24.
Nice.
Do it. So yeah, I adore the series. It's great. Her art's really good. Yeah, check that shit out.
I'm not gonna lie. Ever since you started talking about it, like you wrote the review, I think you brought it up in our last panel too. I don't remember. You brought it up at some point.
You read the review multiple times because you edited it.
I mean, yeah. But I have been keeping an eye for it, and knowing that it's still another month away makes me feel a little bit better, and not like I just missed it and then it disappeared in the wind and I will never have a chance at it again. But it's fine. I'm really excited about it, Jamie. You sold it to me with that review as well. So like that's
awesome.
Popcorn away. Pick
All
somebody
right, Nick.
That's me.
Nick looks around.
I picked one because I had a fun story about it too. It's 7 Days from Gail Simone. It's part of the Catalyst Prime universe, I guess, which is through Lion Forge. It's their like superhero universe, and the reason this one is their cool little variant that's got a nice little gold signature there.
Nice.
Because Gail gave this book to Don, our comic shop owner, at a convention. I think she gave him like 2 or 3 maybe, and she was like, just give them to a few of your people that shop there, and you know, see if they like it. It's kind of a whatever cover. So it was like, I bought a couple comics, and it was like the first time that like my comic shop was like, hey, check out this little, you know, every once in a while they might throw you something or something. So it was the first time that it was like, oh cool, I got like a little thing. And I went back and read it immediately. And this is not like the first book within this superhero universe. But despite that, it is also basically a Justice League-esque team up. It would be a summer event for DC, with a whole bunch of tie-ins, which thankfully
a 12-issue maxi with an Omega and an Alpha.
Yeah, and it would have little, you know, because it pulls together all of the different heroes who all have different powers from all over the world. And one thing with this book is the diversity is absolutely insane without it being. It doesn't feel forceful to me at all. But to jump in, not exactly at the middle, this series I followed way better than like DC or Marvel stuff even that I read, that pulls in all these B characters and C characters, and I just feel lost. But this one held together really well, and it has like one of my favorite villains in comics. I know that there's like way more to this whole universe, and I haven't really jumped into it yet because it is a little daunting, but highly recommend. I've talked about it before too, but it's very good. I think it has, where is he? Just a big evil lizard guy from outer space. That the basic premise is that the world is going to be destroyed in 7 days. So each issue is one more day.
Lizard Daddy. Todd, did you say that you also read that, or that you just heard of it?
No, he did a video for Comic Burrito, so I've heard him talk about it, and I edited the video. So
that's fair. I also read it, Nick, and like did also enjoy how concise it is. Like it really, like, I didn't have to know every little detail about the heroes. They introduced them like clearly enough, well enough, simply enough that you're like, great, this is a trio. They've always been a trio. I don't have to question that they've been a trio or understand how they formed as a trio. They're here. Great. It's the end of the world. Cataclysmic. I don't need to know backstory. Beautiful. Yep. And I really enjoyed it for that too. Yeah. Like they just were really great at just bringing them in, which speaks really well to Gail's skill as an author, that she can be like, I'm going to make this actually readable by people who've never touched this before. And I'm like, right. Fuck yeah, wow. Fuck yeah. Like,
what a concept.
Mind blowing. Who's going next, Nick?
Make Todd go last, and you can go, Aaron.
All right. I'm going to pick Lore Olympus by Rachel Smith. For a couple reasons. Actually, let's just go with mainly for one reason, and whatever. Spite the people who think that web comics aren't Real Comics, because now it's in hard copy, bitches. Okay, so Lore Olympus was like Webtoon's fucking premiere series that I think really grabbed in a lot of attention. They have a lot of series on there that have already been made into shows and like Korean TV. Amazing, great. Lore Olympus, though, I think was the major Western foothold for Webtoons, and like they advertised it in New York's like Times Square, which is just fucking wild, right?
Dope.
Rachel Smith does the art and the writing for it. It's an adaptation of the Persephone Hades story. And what I love about it is when they're in actual Greece, it's like ancient Greece, but when they're in Olympus and stuff, it's modern day technology. But it's all about the like political espionage and bullshittery around Persephone and how she and Hades kind of build a consensual relationship in this book that's very respectful, and it touches on some pretty difficult topics, but I think Rachel does an amazing job keeping the story going, being really respectful of the topics that she hits, and the art is just really unique and gorgeous. It's just pretty great. I just love it. And since it's in a physical copy, like they actually adapted it really well from Webtoon to this physical copy, which would be kind of hard, right? Like the Webtoon format is scroll, scroll, scroll. Doesn't really go well for flipping pages, but it's done really artistically.
You want to hit us with some of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me find the pages that I was just looking at. So like, is this coming through?
That's the wrong person.
That is the wrong person.
Hi, Jamie.
So it's like this
Wow.
scene,
Yeah.
yeah, it would be
It's really well done.
Yeah. They have, let's see, just a lot more of like the little stuff and things in there. So they did a really good job printing it over into this, and I love it because there are more Webtoons that should be printed.
I need a new Webtoon, so I just popped that up. So
Hey,
a new Webtoon.
the new season is starting.
It looks like there's like plenty.
Oh my god, yeah. It's all for free on Webtoon still. There are
191 episodes on right now.
Yeah.
This last one has music with it. There's a little music now.
Thank you, Todd. I'm sitting
I
here
was
just
waiting.
like,
I was waiting for you to.
I was just like, I'm gonna roll with it. No, the music is actually a really interesting art, like narrative bit. Music shows up when something is like sad or traumatic. It like, I think it's supposed to represent this discordant, like not harmonic kind of stress tone. I don't know how to read music, so I actually don't know if she's putting any actual notes in there or if it's just random notes.
It's not actual music that plays. It's like a...
She may... Oh, in the Webtoon?
Yeah.
I don't usually listen with music, so I couldn't tell you actually, because it's usually like 2 a.m. when I'm in bed, and I'm like, no one needs to
That's
know.
why I'm asking, because I usually read it in bed, and I wanted to make sure if it played something that I...
It doesn't take away from the reading experience to not have music, but she actually does music as an art to kind of give like stress and pain, which I thought was really kind of a beautiful way to represent it. And gosh, with just the amount of stuff that Rachel like has put into it and how much it's exploded, like I think she's barely on Twitter, and I don't blame her. Like sometimes she's like, here are my model pics for drawing these characters, and then I think she's like, I'm out, all of you are dead, I'm dead, goodbye, and then pops back when her season's ready. So
fair.
Whatevs. So Todd, take it away.
Oh, hey. So I don't know if you all know, I'm a really big Green Lantern fan.
What?
What?
I know.
What?
I know. I keep it under wraps. That's what I know.
Shocker to me.
Yeah, right. Name 2 Green Lanterns.
Wait, there's more than one?
There's
think
Alan
one's a
Scott
squirrel.
and no one else.
No one.
Everybody else is a
Real.
sham after
This is a
Wait.
man after my own heart.
No, Well, wait until you see his recommendation then.
Yeah. So by far, I love Green Lantern. Green Lantern is the thing, and when a new Green Lantern is introduced, that can be fucking tricky because there are so many of them. You already basically have the personality types pretty well covered because there's just so many options to go with. What they were missing though, which we all didn't know until Far Sector came out, was that Joe was missing.
Yes.
As soon as she was introduced, it's like, oh,
It's on.
it's there. It's all put together, and N.K. Jemisin is incredible. For somebody who writes prose, that doesn't mean you're going to be a good comic book writer. In no way, shape, or form. Not everyone's Neil Gaiman. Not everyone's like, I transcend the art. Bah, bah, bah. But N.K. Jemisin filled those shoes so well. I'm sure it was a team effort because like firsties going into a comic, I'm sure. But what is written here and the story she told with a brand new Green Lantern, it's incredible. And I adore Joe. Joe, it's like Kyle Rayner and then like Joe. And Joe has like one 12-part story. And Kyle Rayner's been around for a minute. It's so good. And so yeah, it's a 12-part maxi that's incredible. I didn't get down to my guy. I have a hardcover version being made for myself right now, and I don't have it yet. But it's worth it, and DC will forever. I'll always hate them for not doing it proper. But yeah, no, it's this. Joe is popped into this planet that's way far in the outreaches of the universe. It doesn't get touched by normal Green Lanterns because it's so far away from Oa. She's got like a new style ring that works differently than everybody else's.
Good.
Yeah, she's a police officer from Earth who is then brought in to the fold and then is sent to this mission. And it is incredible. The book is a huge, it's a big metaphor for what we're dealing with in the world right now, what Black lives are dealing with, what oppressed people are dealing with in the world. In the alien world that she's in, there's 3 races trying to coexist at the same time, and they're all like blocked off from emotions so that they can be controlled essentially. And Joe's there being like, I've seen this shit before and it ain't good. So it's great. It's a fantastic story. N.K. Jemisin, I will love forever. She could stop right now and she'll be one of my favorites because this is one of the best stories I've ever read and I fucking adore it. And she killed it. And then it's also very pretty. But
it's by far the best Green Lantern thing for someone to jump in. Like if you don't need to know anything about Green Lantern at all. Yep. And you can, the Grant Morrison run was fantastic, but I feel like 50% of the people, if you don't know anything about Green Lantern, are not going to enjoy that. Maybe more.
And but this is the thing.
You
read it, but it won't tell you if you like Green Lantern.
No, it won't.
You'll read it and be like, I want more of this. It's like, she kind of sucks because they brought her into the main Green Lantern one right now, and they like scrubbed who Joe is. Like, it sucks. She's not. It's because it's not NK writing her. Like, it's somebody else trying to write Joe, and she's just way more. Just goes kind of like it's just all of a sudden you're like, oh, you're a Green Lantern.
That's so disappointing.
She's cool and like they try, but like it's just not. It's not. It doesn't feel like Joe. But also, Green Lantern's terrible right now. So like.
Okay.
I have hopes for when Green Lantern turns the wheel and gets better again that Joe will also go with it. Because no one's good. Jon Stewart's a god, basically. It doesn't matter.
I kind of
Far Sector, incredible.
Amazing. I do have kind of like, it makes me think when people say like, oh, if you want your own character, make your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you want your representation, just make your own character. Well, obviously we fucking do, and then they're treated like shit when handed off to Joe Schmo character, writer. Like, why do I want to bring women characters into the world if you're just gonna fucking treat them like shit still because you suck at writing women? Like it just anyway. 100%. Male writers, if you're listening, don't take this personal. Anyway,
or just do better.
Or do
Isn't
better.
Joe like the design of Joe also based on Janelle Monáe?
I think so. Yeah, and it's so good.
Just came out as non-binary.
You're right. They did.
That's our first. Sorry, I'll do a little snippet of Joe DePoncho.
So
yeah.
Also, this is. Sorry, I forgot to bring up this point. Look at how much is already. This is the first page is like jumps you in a little bit, and then she doesn't pull punches. She's like, "All right, here's a lot. Let's go."
Yeah. But it builds the universe really well.
But it doesn't hit you in the face like it's a lot. Like you can't understand what's going on.
No, it's just like so well done.
Yeah,
it moves.
A lot of times it hits you in the face, and you're like, "Oh God, please, just give me a moment."
That's true.
Yeah, it's most pages are like that. You get a lot. Like grab the trade because the trade is incredible, and you will get a good read out of it because there's a lot to be digested.
Oh yeah.
It really does a good job at doing the showing and telling part of comic writing. I really, really enjoyed that. No, I like that a lot because I wasn't overwhelmed by like the redundancy. Like we didn't see Joe fly and they be like, and now I'm flying, you know, like bitch, I'm seeing it. So way to go, NK, for actually balancing the art of comic writing. Good job. Also, it's just it was fucking bum because you're right. I know nothing about Green Lantern, and I picked that up because you and so many other people were singing its praises.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. And I fucking loved it. And I was like, I could be a Green Lantern fan. And then you're always like, well, Green Lantern sucks. I'm like, I cannot be a Green Lantern fan. I can be a Joe fan.
Like, there it is. Yeah.
It's the only Green Lantern story I've ever read.
Which is fair. And then outside of that, it's Grant Morrison and then some other things that I have a hard time recommending now.
It'll forever be one of my biggest regrets not pulling it.
I got you into the middle of it. You finally grabbed in and
because it was Young Animal and I was new to comics at the time and I thought Young Animal meant like YA.
Yep.
So I thought it was like a Green Lantern for kids book. Honest mistake, I think.
Yeah.
I see how I wouldn't go so far as honest mistake, but I definitely see how you did it.
Oh
sure. Yeah. I was just like, it's Red. It's funny because I actually love YA books.
Yeah, so, it is. It's really great.
It's kind of funny, but it was, I'm sure at the time I was like, oh, pull list is too big and all that stuff.
That's fair.
All the time I'm like, that's one that I'm hoping someday there's a garage sale bin and it's like,
it's me. Hey, if I pass, make sure to hit up my house a couple weeks after. My wife will have it out. She'll keep my trade. Probably not. Both will be available. I choose Jamie.
All right. So, because you kept going like pointing towards Red, I was like red.
No, I was faking you out.
So second choice was the most recent Black Widow run. This was pretty much an all-female team. Like it was Kelly Thompson, who amazing writer. She's doing a great job with Captain Marvel. Her Mr. and Mrs. X series was really good. Rogan Gambit series was really good. But it's her writing. Elena Casagrande with art. Jordi Belair on colors. And then letterer, I'm not sure. But like the first three are all female. And it's really good, really well written. 15 issues, and unfortunately it got canceled last month.
Ooh.
Which sucked, but it takes Black Widow in a really interesting direction where it's like spoiler alert, you know, she gets kidnapped and is given a family and her memory's wiped. And she really thinks like this is her family. And then it gets ripped away from her. And
that's fucked up.
It really is. And what I think the best thing that happened, the best decision I think that made the series was at the end of all that happening, like a lot of comics writers would go, okay, it's time to take Black Widow on an international revenge tour where she gets her revenge. And it was like, nope, she's going to stay in San Francisco. She's going to build this alternative. She's going to build this found family where she helps people that have also been treated like her, where they've been taken advantage of, and build through that. So really great there. The sisterly dynamics between her and Yelena are hilarious. Really great stuff. And then the art is like, for me, what sets it apart, because every single issue has one of these where it's like a whole splash page action scene where it just like leads your eye through it and you just watch her kick ass over an entire splash page where you don't have to worry about like, which panel am I following? How does it look? You know, there's one I was flipping through just recently, like it's Hawkeye at the top of a building figuring out who to shoot in order. And it's just like, it's really, really great series. And it like pisses me off that it got canceled because it won an Eisner too. Like it won an Eisner for best new series, and then it just Marvel up and canceled last month.
Yeah, Marvel's like, quit while we're ahead. Let's go.
And also, it was kind of sort of like the brand synergy that came out or was supposed to come out when the Black movie was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
Did it? So it had? Does it have at least like a cohesive ending? Like, is it? It satisfying, or is it like just like done?
The ending is satisfying in like in very much a way of like, okay, this could be a satisfying end. It's a satisfying arc ending.
Sure.
And if it's being canceled, it's a satisfying series ending.
Sure.
But you can definitely see where like there was more to be told.
Right.
So, yeah. But for 15 issues and what we get, it's still one of my. It's like it was probably my favorite Marvel series to get every month. I remember getting it monthly.
I heard a lot of people praising it, and then a lot of people upset when it was canceled. So.
Yeah. So. Yeah, for like a year and a half, it was my favorite, and then it was like, oh well.
Well, Jamie, hopefully something else will fill that void for you, because
oh yeah, there's plenty of comics, but yeah, comics will break your heart.
Fucking true. I do like the idea of her becoming this local superhero rather than the international like fatale like that she is. Yeah. I mean, she's like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
And she starts a red room again, but she's very much like, no, this is a red room like sanctuary. Like, I don't want to train people. I want this to be a place where people can be safe. And I've really appreciated all of that. So, because it could have very much become a, 5 issues of her in Madripoor, then 5 issues of her somewhere else, and then 5 issues of her.
But then you'd have to know about Madripoor. Like, you'd have to know about those places. So thank you. Yeah. Did you say it was DeConnick who wrote it?
No, it was Kelly Thompson.
Kelly Thompson. Yeah. Thank you, Kelly Thompson, for making it something accessible rather than having to know about Madripoor and all that other shit.
And if you're a diehard Marvel fan, like all your favorites show back up. Like Bucky's in there, Hawkeye's in there, Kate Bishop's in there, Spider-Girl's in there at one point. Yeah. It's like you get all of the familiar like little tie-ins, but it's still very much her story. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you know who also shows up? Like what other book Bucky shows up in?
Captain America.
I mean, obvious answer, but no, Archie versus Predator 2.
Oh, well, that's the obvious answer.
Obviously. Duh, how did you not
get
it?
That's wild.
Like, yeah. I mean, it's just via text, but like, it's hilarious.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
All right, Red.
Okay, right? Okay. Saga.
Yes. What?
I know. Is this a new book?
Yeah.
What's Saga? Sega.
Sega.
Saga.
Okay. So Saga, if you're gonna buy Saga at this point in time, Comixology almost always has the omnibus, which is 1 through 55, on sale.
It's true.
Whatever way you enjoy comics are valid.
It's like $20 on InStock too.
There's also compendium.
I got my
cheap.
compendium for like $20.
Exactly. And that's the way I was reading Saga for a long time while Saga was on a 3-ish year break. And now it's back.
Yes.
Okay. So Fiona Staples, not only, is she Canadian?
Oh, you're Canadian, right?
I sure am.
Okay, there.
She's from my city. She's actually from my city, and the local comic book shop that I used to frequent back in my formative years of being into comics was the first place that she ever was an artist in resident.
Nice.
Right.
So you're like
cool.
local up and coming artist for your.
And also, if anybody's familiar with the YA franchise Maximum Ride,
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay. Fiona Staples paired up with Marvel and did the comic book adaptation of that. Super niche. Let me have this. Anyway, Saga, right? Okay. So family, right? Okay.
We're with you so far. This new one.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I love everything about Saga. I love the hype around it. When this isn't the newest issue, but this is the one that came back.
Mm-hmm.
This is 55, and I
55.
love the absolute shit out of it. The humor is great. It's very much. It's like you're watching a family grow. Everything from the birth of their child in the middle of this war between the Horn people and the Winged people, and just like seeing geopolitics, but from a family level. Mind-blowing. Volume 1 was nominated for all sorts of awards. Go buy it.
It's true.
Yeah. If you haven't,
you can show me any random panel of Saga, and I will immediately recognize it as Saga.
There you go. You've read a lot of stuff from one female creator.
There you go.
Yes. But it is such a specific thing that it's just like anything. I have like a few Facebook groups that are like out of context comics and stuff, and all the time, and I hate it because I actually had to unfollow it because recently I've had it where like the day that Saga comes out, somebody will post like the last panel kind of a thing. And it's like, obviously I know what that is too, just because it's as soon as you see it, you know exactly what
it's striking and it's specific, which is a testament to Staples.
Yeah.
You should always post panel number 2 when you're posting out of context panels. Always the second one, because you're like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah. Fiona did a lot of work for that art too, like her creativity of just sitting down and thinking the practicality of the costumes, where she's like, if you have wings, how would your shirt be built?
How does it work? Yeah.
Or like, if you had horns, how would your helmet be designed? And like that, I think, was what makes me love Saga.
If your head is a TV, why is it like that?
Right?
Yep.
Or like, how would you make facial expressions, which fucking blows my mind with the TV Prince or whatever his name. Like, I just love the work she did in that art, like, for it. And I think at first they found out like more than 50% of their readership were women, which was just like wild at the time. Yeah.
What?
But like they
comics.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Comics are
so I also looked up this Maximum Ride thing that you said, and the first thing that came up was nothing about Maximum Ride. I think all it was
it
does Max get pregnant?
Oh.
I was like, what? Like, I'm not entirely sure this is the same. Like,
amazing.
I'm confused and concerned.
We have
Anyway.
concerns.
Concerns.
Hey Todd, you want to go splitsies with me?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, 3.
Mine's
2,
a little different.
That's okay.
Well-
Same bit, different play.
Yeah.
Okay. It's man-eaters.
Man-eaters the curse.
Man-eaters make
Okay.
you work hard. Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was karaoke by Aaron.
So man-eaters, the premise is, listen, okay, whenever I want to introduce people to how comics are not about superheroes or not exclusively about superheroes, this is my go-to. Because it is so far removed from any of that. It's wild. It's over here. It's like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, I love the irreverence of it all. It doesn't really give a shit what you think it's supposed to be. It is singular focused, and you can tell that there was thought and a lot of talent behind all aspects of the book. Everything is intentional. There is no just like, there's probably a reason for that. No, there's a fucking reason for it, and it all makes sense and it all puts together. Even the nonsensical shit all comes full circle and it makes sense. It's funny. It's funny, which is something that we have lots of women in comics things. One of the few things you'll hear are that was a really funny comic when it comes to women, because I might be out of left field. They have to take it seriously, because if you get into the field and you are in it, you have to take it seriously and write a serious comic, because you had to be so serious to get there. There isn't a lot of room for women doing funny comics as nearly as much, especially in like the upper echelon of like the big 2 and 3 and all of that. You don't get as much comedy out of it. You get either like really fun and cute, or you get like serious Black Widow, things like that, like Red Sonja. You get like these serious books. This is clever and funny, and you can tell that the person behind it is clever and funny. You can have your feelings about them, which is a whole like panel royale we should have about artist and all of that, art and the creator. But it's amazing. It makes me laugh every time, and it is gorgeous. The multimedia elements in Man-Eaters is great.
Hey
Also,
Todd,
Spy
what's
Island.
the premise?
The premise is camp.
Okay.
Camp. There's witchcraft and there's camping.
Witchcraft.
In this
There's
one,
sand fleas.
in this one, there's a 15-year-old Maud who is going to witch camp, and she has to exist and keep existing throughout the book.
I don't know. Have you all mentioned like why this is fictional? Like, how does this universe deviate from ours? Let alone in the curse.
That's what I was trying to poke Todd about, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, his book is different than yours, right?
Yeah, we're so
It's
mine
okay.
is the regular
I've read-
series.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I was saying I've read what Todd's book, but I have not read yours.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
no,
so
Todd
mine
was
is the
right
original
about his
series.
book, but-
Mm-hmm.
And Todd's is I don't know where it lays in a timeline sort of thing, but it's a side story as far as I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a within the world kind of a thing, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's its own thing. It had a whole arc.
Right.
It ain't no side story.
Yeah.
Side stories can have arcs.
But what was the
Absolutely.
main what was the main one though? The first one, because that's not camp, right?
Let me take this
So
one
does
away.
Aaron wanna do
'cause
it?
This one, it was the
Because I was
best
talking
thing.
about mine.
I got all the dudes at my shop who were my coworkers at the time to start reading this, mostly because whenever I sold them on the book, I'd look them dead in the eyes and like add it to their pool, like as I was telling them about it, and then they just kept buying it, and I was like, haha, bitch. But so in the world of man-eaters, women are not allowed to have their menses, not allowed to have your cycle, no periods, whatever. You have progesterone and other hormones in your water and like your food, and you have to keep those hormones suppressed, because what happens sometimes, see, what happened was women cycle and become man-eating cats.
Of course.
And murder and rage just across the city side.
It's not in mine.
Oh, well.
So it's based on actual events.
That's why I was giving the synopsis of my book.
But Nick, what's really funny about it,
that's
different. True. It's very, very different. But they have this like total magazine feel to the first one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So fucking good, because they're writing articles that are obviously about like, well, she just went crazy, and then like, but like they build the world and they break the fourth wall entirely. So like there is no concept of fourth wall. Shit like that. It's
this one has a whole issue of like, it's like those kids life magazine type things, but it's all about witchcraft.
Awesome.
That's
nice. And it's great.
It's amazing. In Man-Eaters, it's all about like how to protect yourself from cat attacks. And you're not quite sure if they're talking about like cats, because they're talking about litter box safety as well as emotional safety and how to like satiate your wild cat, you know? And it's like the most fucking sexist like shit that satire. That's what it is. It's all satirical. It's all irreverent. It's hilarious. Fucking love it. And it's all about tearing down the patriarchy that doesn't allow you to have a fucking period. So, oh my God, you did it! You did it with Nick's face.
Yes,
I felt that the next morning.
Yeah, I made this, and during a stream,
we were testing it out to see if I could feel it.
Did the whole thing, but so
it didn't work.
I did copy from the digital preview because I can't do that to my comic book. But and I also made stickers from the cutout.
I love that you still have that though. That's great.
I hung it up in my little like closet thing because it just makes me laugh every time I see it.
Yeah.
Can you make us a sticker?
That should be a sticker.
This a sticker? Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'll keep it out to scan it in because I can make that a sticker.
Hell yeah.
I could if you're done with Man-Eaters, I could piggyback a little bit because I did read Chelsea Kane's Spy Island.
Okay.
Which is similar in delivery as far as having those like magazine ads, and there was one for like the orgasm on the beach.
Orgasm.
The pink orgasm, like
the pink orgasm.
Like all that stuff, and it's all these like callbacks, and for like 4 issues, it felt like this huge thing because of all this like pop culture stuff that she threw in there, and it's just brilliant. It's definitely a different way to make comics than you normally see, and I love every bit of it.
It's clever. It's just so clever. And the artists that she works with, because Leah,
I am still looking for a couple.
Kate Nemizik and Rochelle Rosenberg. It's a team she works with, and they're incredible.
That's
they sure
awesome.
Yeah.
That artwork from both of those, like, I have never wanted to be like artistically adopted by somebody, but I was just like, after reading it, I was like, art mom. But you know, it can't happen, so it's fine.
You want to live back in like the Victorian era where like someone will sponsor you and just to let you like live out a weird hobby.
No, I just want to watch her paint.
Oh, that's it.
I just want to sit there and just be like, I'm absorbing and I'm learning. But no actual instruction. It's just watching her work like a fucking.
It's pretty dope life.
I mean, yeah. If I can eat, like every painting I watch is a meal. I don't know. Like
every painting I watch is a meal.
Yeah. There you go.
I need to write it down. It doesn't make any sense, but that's a sticker too.
It makes sense in context.
I know. I love it. Every painting I watch is a meal. I love it.
There you go. Freaking enjoy it. Am I the only one?
Was that my book? Did I get popcorned into talking about the other book? Because that's fine. And then I guess Nick then.
I kind of piggybacked on
Nick,
there, yeah.
You need to choose Erin because she's the only one.
How about Erin?
Shit. What? Comics can be a variety of things, including graphic novels. So I picked This Is How I Disappear by Miriam Mallet. She's French. I'm sorry. I live in the Midwest of the United States. Spanish is hard enough. She is a French cartoonist and illustrator who lives in Montreal. Her first book that was translated to English was The League of Super Feminists. Catching. Very, like I'm looking at her school background and stuff, and there are very French names, and I'm intimidated. So I'm not going to read them out loud. Anyway, This Is How I Disappear is about a young woman's kind of like mental breakdown. She went through a traumatic event, is trying to repress it. She's going through therapy. She's doing the things that she was told she has to do. And so she's just kind of like, I don't know, existing, giving her all to helping others, thinking that it'll help herself. Just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. She's just extending herself too much. And her friendships are falling apart. Like, she's not able to work on the book that she's supposed to finish. Her boss is treating her like shit, so her work performance is dropping. Her depression and anxiety are just overwhelming, where she's not answering text messages. She's drinking too much. And it's just an interesting story of her trying to figure out like who's an actual friend, because some people keep only reaching out to her whenever they need her, but when she responds, "I need you," they're like, "Left you on red, boo, bye." And like it just makes things worse for her. Makes her feel more isolated, makes her feel just worse. And then she has really good friends who step in and kind of ambush her with a bonding, emotional purging time, and all is wonderful. So it's just this really great like healing and recovery story. You don't come in at the beginning when she's already struggling with like the traumatic act. You come in like the mid, and then you get, or like right before the climax of it, because she's about to fall into her worst being, and then you see a nice happy ending, or as happy as it can be. And I've been thinking about it a lot when it comes to my own life of like, am I overextending myself? What emotions am I suppressing to make myself amenable to those around me? Am I going to have friends show up with a bottle of wine and be like, "Bitch, cry it out. Let's go." Like, it's just.
Can I have that, please?
Yes. We need that. We need those friends.
Yeah.
Don't you love when comics affects you that way, though?
Yeah.
Yes. It feels so good. And the art is also like just really simple. Just line art, no color. So it's nice. And easy to read. Straightforward. The characters are all really distinct, so you can see it all, and it just like, I don't know. I'm just saying, I want to be the person with the wine and the kindness and the ambushing friends to make them, feel their feelings that they've been repressing for years. It's fine. I don't know. It's just really good, and I picked it up randomly.
Nice.
I was just like, I like this cover.
That's
yeah.
The best by and turns out being awesome.
Yeah. And it's just been lingering in my head forever, just there. Mm-hmm. Every time I look at the binding, I'm like, oh, I don't want to read that again yet because of feelings, but like, it's there for me when I need it.
There's a specific issue of Deadpool that I keep around for that exact same purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Deadpool. Really?
Yeah.
All right.
That is a bit surprising of a title. Is that who it is? Character title.
It is.
What would you say?
So it's just to vamp till Todd gets back. Anyway,
I have one.
So this specific issue deals with suicide.
Ooh.
And the want to do that and why. And so this girl is experiencing those thoughts and is going to jump off a roof, and Deadpool comes along, and at first he's like, yeah, I'm going to help her. Yeah, I'm going to help her. And then he goes, actually, I'm going to drop you off at the hospital.
Legit.
It's time for you to take a grippy soft vacation. And when you're out, this is my number. Give me a call. We'll go to pizza. We'll go have ice cream. I'll go show you what I do every day. I got no problems helping you. But as a hero, as someone who like helps people out, this is too far for me. And then the last page is the suicide helpline of every country that this comic was published in.
Nice.
That's great. I love that. Nick, what was yours? You said you had one?
I just had one that affected me that in a similar way. It was a recent Flash issue. It was whatever Flash came out about 6 months ago. And if you're not fully caught up on Flash, you could check it out. But Wally is with his daughter, and he's dealing with like her having powers and wanting to be a superhero, and like her, wanting to do things, but him being very worried about her safety and stuff. And it ends with like a father-daughter dance and everything, and it's just like, oh, I wish I didn't drop Flash. Like, I need to go find this issue, like just this one at least. But yeah, it's funny how they'll catch you all of a sudden randomly, even like Deadpool, where it's like, oh, didn't expect that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what This Is How I Disappear is for me, I guess, but an entire story. One of many, because I only seem to buy books that make me cry. It's great.
Your favorite genre?
It's my favorite genre. Much like Todd, who likes the bright and depressing things, I just like things that make me cry, even if they're happy tears. It's just, I don't cry that much. I sound like I cry all the time. I do not cry all the time. I think.
Starts crying.
I'm so confused.
Don't cry too much.
The last time this happened.
I only buy things that make me cry. Sounds like a Boom book, by the way.
It does.
Legit.
It sounds like a Boom Studios book.
There you go. There you go.
If you could make the title a little bit longer.
I only buy books to read that make me cry a lot.
There it is. there it is. Now it's a Boom book.
I'm trying to figure out what the plot would be. I'm thinking like adult Jonesy, like kind of like
Nice.
the kind of punky Jonesy thing, but like I don't know, drawn like Riverdale. Like it's just so it's
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would let someone talk to me about it.
In fact, I would read a review on it.
Yeah, 100%.
If it was in our previews file, I would definitely scroll through it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I'd see what the art's like.
I'd look them up on Twitter. Yeah,
That's
for sure.
man. I need to write these down because I probably would actually check that out. But I would see what the art's like. Is maybe my new way of being like, I'm not interested in your wreck.
Yeah. Listen, here's a behind the scenes thing. If your comic book guy goes, yeah, the art looks cool on that one, they've never fucking read it.
No,
Like,
they've seen the art and went, that looks cool.
Those covers are fucking fire.
Oh, yeah, they're great covers.
They unpacked the box it was in.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then put it into your pull list.
I have somehow based recommendations based on 2 panels that I've read when flipping through them. And I'm like, you know what? The letter is great. And there was a punchline that said list. I don't know the context, but I was like, damn, I'm hooked. They're like, people just have been like, that's great. Add it to my pull. I'm like, amazing. How does that work? Like, I just.
You sucker.
Steve!
Hi, Steve. Yeah, nice. Good
Steve.
Good pick.
Yeah.
I've not read that one.
I haven't either.
Is it one you can just pick up?
It might be Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah, I think it's Marvel Unlimited, probably. I don't know. I don't get those.
No, I mean, like, is that one that you can just like jump into?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much all Daredevil.
Yeah.
I have found, because I've read like 3 or 4 of the runs, and it's just been sporadic, and it's been like fine.
It's like It's like jumping into Batman, where it's like you're good. You get the idea. You know what Daredevil is as a character.
He can't see real good,
but he's real good at fighting.
He's got these sticks.
Listen, as long as that book starts at the number 1, you're fine.
Yeah, he doesn't see good, but he sees real good.
But he sees real good
with his mind.
It's
in the rain.
You just paint him a pretty sound picture.
If you didn't know what Batman was, this is who you would think Batman is.
Okay, so have you watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Now, keep them in mind and understand they're making fun of Daredevil.
Amazing.
Boom, got it.
You're all ready to go.
Yeah. Foot ninjas, hand ninjas. I can never remember which one's in which universe.
I know. I love that they do foot and hand. It's just like, you suck.
Yeah. I'm always like, foot ninjas are turtles, but then I think that's wrong. Oh, that is right.
But the foot, no, that's right.
I don't know. Like, I'm so confused. Well, that's at least good to know that you can just like pick up Daredevil at a 1 at any point. That's another one that goes on forever.
Kevin Smith run, and it was really good.
The Chip Zdarsky run right now, beautiful.
Was
like
really
it's a
good
work of art in itself, like comics are art.
Yeah.
But like this is masterful.
I've heard that.
It is definitely S-class, and which is why I'm excited for him to do DC's version of Daredevil.
Yeah, what's that? He's about to do DC Daredevil.
He's just it's great. It's just
has he already been doing one of the Batman books?
Yeah, he has
like a Batman Black Label. He's doing
Knights or Dark
yeah. He's doing a little snippet, and then he's getting the big run. So
big boy.
It should be good.
Yeah, so women in comics. Chip Zdarsky is now a woman in comics.
Yes.
Congrats.
Why not?
I mean,
congrats, Chip.
If we could take a little time, I kind of want to like. I am really satisfied that we've been able to bring up like adult or like teen and older stories that are written by women, because when you look for women books or women-led stories, they're either going to be very niche, like This Is How I Disappear, or Bechdel's books are very like autobiographical, or fiction narratives, graphic novels about family and trauma, or young adult. Like, if you want to find a woman in comics, go find a kid's graphic novel, because they are running that field.
Yep. I mean, good for them. Get that money, get in that door, and get your name out there. Like, hustle.
No.
And then kill it. But no, that is like it's becoming a stereotype.
It's so annoying. Did you know that Tilly Walden is is considered a YA author?
Oh.
Like, which is, I guess, fine, because like her stuff is very much about coming out, and like she is a younger author. Yeah. But there's also like, I'm just kind of like, this is kind of ageless.
No, it's just kind of a book.
Is what it is.
Yeah, it's not. It's like Middle West, how I see that kind of thing, where it's like it's a coming of age book, which feels like it should be YA, but really it's like everybody can. Like, you either are coming of age and reading it and it's something, or you're like, oh, I remember this, and it's.
But would they put Middle West in the YA all ages?
No, because there's F-bombs.
No, because there's F words. Yeah. But
if they cleaned up the language and a little bit of the violence,
less of a dick bump in there,
a little bit less of a dick bump,
because there's a shadowed penis.
Then it would. However,
Batman's a young adult.
If you are coming of age,
Black Label Batman's totally for kids.
I've given Middle West to both of my oldest boys earlier than I would most mature books, because if you are coming of age, it's probably perfect story.
I think it's 12 and up
for an angry young boy. It's a really good so complete opposite of what we're trying to talk about tonight.
But anyway, Scotty Young's not a woman.
Congrats,
So-
Scotty. You are now.
Honorary woman.
Damn it.
That's and not as a criticism about y'all. I've also been like, oh yeah, this male author did this, or this male artist did this. But that
But
just
that's
kind
the
of goes to
problem.
show, yeah.
That's the problem. Is it's so easy because it's like 10 women, big 2, big 3 creators, and then it's like 40 men, and it's just like, well, like you just you have it. Just you stumble into.
Yeah, you start talking about comparisons, and and you're just all of a sudden whoop, you're over there.
Yep.
And
like
I don't know what that book would be for a woman.
There's very few times where you can go, this woman creator did this book, and it's very similar to this other woman creator. Because
I did want to do that though, but then we moved past it because Man Eaters the Cursed and Lumberjanes I was going to have as like a tie through.
Do it.
Lumberjanes, Noelle Stevenson, one of my favorite people on the planet, which Noelle Stevenson, I believe, and Aaron are somehow related at some point because it's why I love Aaron so much. It's the same reason why I love Noelle. They are like in your face. They're awesome. They are like, what the fuck up? I'm here. While being just like short and adorable.
Yeah, Noelle, I've loved watching their journey and like the fact that they also did She-Ra, the Princess of Power, Nimona,
which is now the movie.
Yep.
They have such a beautiful career. They definitely like fall under the FEM for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not just Noelle. I love Noelle and they're amazing. But there's also Grace Ellis, Brooklyn Allen, Merita Laiho, and Aubrey Ais. It's chock full of amazing women, femmes, fatales, and just incredible people. Because look what you get. So it's colorful and wonderful and fun, and it's about this group of girls, people who are in a summer camp, and there's supernatural stuff, and it's crazy, and I love it because they are distinct characters. These aren't just like five girls who kind of blend together, and it's just like you like can mix them up, and they're just kind of there to be a group.
Yeah,
like they are wildly disparate people, and it's amazing because you'll cling on to it because like I just adore them. And they do such a good job fleshing out each character. And I love it. Like, are you like the nerdy like math person? Then you got your person. April? No, I'm gonna mix up the names because it's been too long since I've actually read it. I don't want to say the names, or like, were you always the young one in the group who was the weird, crazy person? You're fucking in here too. Like, it's great, and I love it. Are you
the one who always had a raccoon for a hat?
Yes.
You're there too.
Were you like meant to be female Ron Swanson? You're fucking there.
You're there. Yeah.
And if you've never gotten on the track, look at what you can get. I bought the singles way long ago, and then I don't have them anymore, and I wanted to go back and own it. Look at how gorgeous. This is like the deluxe edition. It's the handbook type thing, and it's wonderful and it's beautiful, and I love that it gets the respect it fucking deserves, because this shit should be on all of the lists for best comics of all time. It's a legacy book in my opinion, but it probably won't ever get that level of recognition, but it's so much better than people would think it is given the subject matter. It's incredible.
I would say it's from experience, it's the best for me. It was the best right before bedtime book because it would always put me in a good mood. My day could be absolute shit, but I had an issue of Lumberjanes sitting at my bedside table ready to go. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm ready for good night. Cool.
Everything feels wonderful. Yay.
Yeah.
I think funny one, I love that they always are like friendship to the max in Lumberjanes. Fucking love that. Hi Entropy. And Oh my god, my brain stopped. They also had playlists at the end of issues.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. They had their whole badges thing.
Yes, the badges.
I love reading about the badges.
Yeah. And I legit had another thought that I wanted to make, and it's gone now. Oh, yeah. No, there was a little girl who was coming in with her family to find comics. And I say little, like maybe 10 to 11, 12, somewhere in there. And she came in and I was like, I'm going to help you. I hope I have something for you. Oh my God, Lumberjanes. And she looked me dead in the eyes. She's like, I have all of them. I was just like,
do better.
I was like, all right,
Bitch.
all right. Like,
too bad.
Amazing.
I was like, do you want this? She's like, I already read all that too. I was like, all right.
Spectre Inspector would be my follow-up if you really love Lumberjanes and you want more of that. Spectre Inspector is incredible.
Also,
super fun.
Also super great. The Lumberjanes Gotham High crossover wasn't bad.
No, yeah,
was
it wasn't bad. I think it's just a good time. It was just like
good.
There's no real gravity to this situation, but I'm enjoying where we're at.
I loved how they argued with each other all the damn time.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Who are you? It was very same hat energy. Like, I fucking loved it. Yeah.
It's when you go to like the other school for like that competition or whatever, and you run into like your counterparts on the other side. You're like, oh, hey, we'd be in a friend group if we were in the same like.
It's the Simpsons episode where Milhouse meets Milhouse.
Yes.
From the other town.
Yep. Yes.
I always hated those moments. I was like, this is who I am. No, this is how I am from the outside.
Is a mirror darkly for sure.
I didn't need this awareness. I know we all had our own stacks, so I kind of want to open the floor for a free-for-all. We're getting on like hour and a half. I don't know how late everybody wants to stay up. But
let's do a big push.
Yeah.
Oh, legit. Just finish off your stacks.
Okay.
Yeah?
I'm done.
Oh, you're done? Okay,
I had sheets and delicates.
That's why I talked a little bit more about all of it, because that was
Brenna Thurman?
You mean Golden Taco Award winner?
Our Golden Taco Award winner. First Golden Taco Award winner.
That's another one. I read my daughter Delicates, the sequel, and it was like trying to get through without crying.
Yep.
Of it, not like in a bad way, but like you're good enough and you can do it kind of a thing, and she's sitting there just like, what's wrong? like it's way over her head. I love those books. I've read those.
I love those moments when you're like, I'm going to be a parent in an inspirational speech, and the kid's like, I don't understand. I haven't had this emotion yet. And you're like, just know you're loved for when you do.
This book is silly.
I like the pictures. It's like they're great pictures. They're great pictures.
Yeah.
The ghost guy's funny.
It is silly.
The ghost guy's hilarious.
Okay.
It was like,
why doesn't he like water? He just doesn't.
It's just how it is.
Some people just never learn how to swim. I don't know.
Some people just never learn how to swim.
Some people just never learn how to swim.
It's another Boom title.
From the perspective.
Why are we not running Boom at this point?
Yeah, right.
Hey, Boom artists, authors, or whomever, just hit us up for title work.
If you need a title, we got you.
Hey, James Tynan.
Hit us up.
When you get sick of those,
you're the house of slaughter. Some people never learn how to swim.
Yeah, right. Yes.
That's your next monster book. Some people never learn how to swim.
Oh, there you go.
That could be a really good monster book.
That could be a great horror title.
Oh yeah.
Write that pitch down. Let's sell it to Boo.
Yeah, let's. All right.
I'll just draw it poorly. Let's go. Stick figure monsters. Let's fucking go.
Nice.
Red, you look like you have a stack.
So I just trimmed down some of my stack to just the ones that I like have something important to say. So let's blow through two that I don't have much to say on. First and foremost.
That's a good way to go.
I love it.
Yeah. Kara
Live your
Zor-El.
truth.
Kara Zor-El, Wonder Woman. is beautiful. It set the stage for Tom King's Superwoman, as far as I'm concerned. They're both fantastic. This was one of those Future State titles that I picked up all of as it was running, which is a lot to say because Future State was very hit and miss.
That's a nice way to say it.
Yep. And then Future Momoko, Demon Days. The internals of this are absolutely fucking stellar.
Demon Days is really cool.
It's really
And now she's got her whole line just dedicated to that art style and that universe. And right there, sorry, I'm used to the camera being inverted. And fuck.
How do hands work?
Yeah, that box
Amazing.
right there is a Momoko art box.
Uh-huh.
Shit. Is that the Demon Days
I almost
one?
bought it, but it's shorter than a normal box, and I was like, I can't.
It is, and I did not realize that till I got home.
Yeah, I was warned about it, and I was like, damn it.
That box.
But it's
I
really
think-
cool.
Demon Days is like the Marvel universe, but it isn't.
Amazing. That's what they say. That's your pull quote on the back.
Yeah, concise, beautiful words from Nick over there.
It is
Yeah.
one. It's one of. It might be my only Marvel pull left
Oh, I'm not pulling it. I
It's
just read them when
Demon
they
Days.
hit.
because I've
Marvel universe. I read them.
Yeah, that
I've
3-month
that
wait
makes
is
sense.
nothing, right?
It really isn't. It really isn't.
I went to
They're
trade so
fools.
much, but that was it. Like I want that in print because the best
Yeah.
part about that book is looking at it.
Correct.
Not that it's not fun to see these variations on the story and all of that, but it's just so different and pretty. Like I love it.
So this next one is women in comics and also LGBTQ in comics.
Oh shit.
So it's my boys. It's my precious boys.
It's
Wicked
my
and
boys.
Hulkling.
Boys.
These are my special boys. Okay. And this was a King in Black title.
Oh, I
And
read
it
I
that.
had,
read along with that. Yeah.
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 and it had
Yeah.
Nick did
it
that.
had no business being as any good as it was.
Hmm?
It was a King in Black title. It featured two characters that had nothing to do with the main story at all because they were in space and on holiday from
I heard
being
about
married
this one.
from being married from the last Marvel event, Empire. They're like, oh yeah, we're characters too. Don't forget us. I'm like,
Oh, Marvel.
I'll never forget you guys.
I remember reading it through the King in Black thing, and I remember that it was like, this was good, but I don't know why this. Like,
Why
what
is this here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good story.
I
It
wasn't
just had no
mad,
life.
but it wasn't. As far as the overall thing, it didn't have a whole lot.
It's we need more honeymoon books. That's it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
The moral of the story.
I also enjoy the fact that they're like, there's a war going on. They're like, but if you want to just kind of feel good about a war, here's a honeymoon story that's happening at the same time. Like, just love persists. It's cool. That's cute. Okay, I heard about that one. Maybe I heard it from y'all.
Maybe
Maybe
we did a review on it back in the day. Anyway,
it might have been when I heard about it. Yeah,
next up is Batgirls.
legit.
Yeah. Yes.
This Batgirls run, if you're not reading it, do yourself a favor, go pick it up. A, because all the variant covers are awesome and they're art within themselves, and they just hang on my wall sometimes. B,
I don't think
This
Jamie
is-
needs more covers that can hang on her wall, though. Like,
I have a stack of framed covers that I have no place for right now. So no. I'm good. You can see like I had to sort of fill in shelter.
okay, this is the book that is giving Cassandra Cain her due.
Good. She needs that.
And Cassandra Cain has not had her due in a very long time or has been sidelined for a whole bunch. Yeah, this is.
I mean, as a Stephanie Brown fan, I feel you. And I'm just waiting.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, for
Keep
sure.
waiting. Anyway,
Oh, how dare you?
Y'all should read the Batman Family Adventures on Webtoon because it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah, it's such
So
feel
sweet.
good. So sweet.
I hope that comes to print too, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, it's too slice of life. But like spoilers for one of the ones that you have to pay for. I just love it when Tim turns to Batwoman and is like, is dating boys anything, or dating girls anything like dating boys? And she's just like, I don't know. Like, I don't.
Wrong
like,
person to ask.
Yeah, like fucking love that. Anyway, continue.
Okay. Silk is my next one.
Nice.
This is the most recent Silk one, and this was the book that I introduced my significant other to comics with.
Aw.
Nice.
Are they still reading them?
No, they dropped off at this one
Oh, boo.
because they found the Marvel Unlimited app.
Oh,
And they
okay.
were reading the Hulkling and Wiccan story because that's their slice of life. It's this boy toy thing that they're really into. And so they're reading that, not this. I get it. I understand.
We obviously need more slice of life.
Yeah, superheroes is not for everybody. I get it.
I support that. I support that.
Cindy Moon is the best Spider Woman, and I stand by that.
I don't know much about Spider Women, and I can't throw down on that, so we're just gonna let that linger for replay value.
You can have that hill. You win.
We all yield.
It's Anne.
Hi,
Anne.
Hi, Anne.
We never did throw. We do have someone else who would like to tell us about a book they really liked.
Oh yeah.
Is Red done before we
do? No, I got one more, but let's let them go first, please.
Okay. Right.
Oh no, you go, and then I'll. We have a video from a friend of the show, so you finish up. We'll go to them, and then we'll.
The last one is Captain Marvel. Higher, further, faster, baby.
I think
Jamie's excited.
I love it. I look Anne there too.
Got some fans.
What perfect timing! What perfect timing!
When I was introducing people at work to Captain Marvel and trying to pull back that like vitriol that people have for the Captain Marvel movie, for no good reason, by the way, that is what I started with. And I have talked them out of it now.
That's good.
Oh, I'm so glad you changed opinions.
It took 2 volumes to do it, but I did it.
2 volumes is a lot less time than like, I don't know, 6 hours of movies. But like, so it's maybe better for the better that it took that. Like, I don't know.
Also, check out that. You can see the icon of Anne right there.
Yeah,
it's real fucking rad.
It seems a little familiar to a cover we just saw. It's
weird.
Weird.
Crazy.
Weird.
So strange.
So we got a guest of the show, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hear for the people on the panel if they need to go pee real quick. We have a nice, just over 2-minute recommendation from Jessica from 10 Cent Comics.
10 Cent Takes.
Hi, my name is Jessica Frazier, and I'm with the podcast 10 Cent Takes. And today it's my absolute pleasure to recommend the book LaGuardia, which is by Nnedi Okorafor, and the artist is Tana Ford, colorist is James Devlin. And this book, first and foremost, this book is beautiful. It's gorgeous. The colors are beautiful. The hair is especially gorgeous. The way that the hair is drawn, and it's incredibly expressive. Now, it is centered around LaGuardia, the airport. It's an alien story, but it's also a larger immigration story. And while it covers the struggles of the aliens to immigrate into Earth or into different countries, it also shows the struggle that the people were still facing, because even though there were aliens, it doesn't mean that things like racism don't exist anymore. If anything, it's probably gotten worse. So it's a beautiful story. It talks about motherhood. It talks about the struggles of trying to relocate or trying to help people relocate, and it's all around a beautiful book. So again, I would recommend that you check it out. The author, Nnedi Okorafor, is an amazing writer. She just, everything about this book is fantastic. I was not bored for a second, first and foremost. It actually brought me to tears as well, and just the struggle was so palpable with the characters that it was really moving. So if you get the chance, pick up LaGuardia by Nnedi Okorafor, and I really hope you enjoy it. I certainly did.
Yay, thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, it sounds real cool. I have to pick this up now. I was watching this for doing this, and I'm like, oh, that sounds real cool. Okay.
Do I want to be petty and say we did an episode about it? But like, whatever, Todd, it's fine.
Yeah, I wanted to read it then too, but then
okay, thanks. Nice cover.
That was a minute ago.
That's true. That's true. No, LaGuardia is a really great read. And one of my issues that I had with it, because I did have an issue with it, is motherhood is a terrifying concept for me. Like, it.
Sure. As it should be. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, every part of it is terrifying. Yet, it was not scary like in the comic. Like, I thought I was going to be like, pregnancy. But it was, I don't know, done very well, very nicely, very family centered. It was great.
Neat.
But I expected to struggle because the motherhood is so prominent. Like, there's a lot of fucking art about like motherhood in the center and circle of life, and I'm like, babies, like, just, ooh. Like, all right. Nick, did you have any others that you well, we talked about Sheets of Delicates.
That was it. Todd. I mean, I'm sure there's something else.
I'm going to shotgun his because I knew he wouldn't have any more. So I'm going to shotgun a few to fill in for Nick's not shotgunning. The Impending Blindness of Billy Scott. It's fucking amazing. It's about a woman who is losing her sight and is on a mission to paint 10 portraits for an exhibit, and then dealing with the thought of being an artist who is losing their main way of doing it. And it is amazing. It's incredible. It's by Zoe Thorogood, and I adore this book. It's nice and big too. It's so good. It's incredible. I have another one that Jamie's going to talk about, so I'm skipping past that. And I'll just hold my copy up when she holds hers up, because we'll duo. I'll wait until you go, and we'll duo. Another one, there's a series of these by Kate Beaton. This is Hark! A Vagrant. And it is essentially like it goes through history and time and different like snippets, and it's comic strip, and I have a lot of fun with that. It's one of those books where grab a bookmark, throw it in your bathroom, and read it for the 5 to 10 minutes that you're in there, and just chug through it, because like you'll get through it as you go, and it's great. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah. I didn't expect that to get a laugh. But yeah, no, it's really cool, and it's fun, and you learn a little bit while also being entertained. But yeah, Kate Beaton. There's other ones. I don't have them yet because I got this one specifically for like, I'm like slightly ahead of where Nick was, where I'm like, I've just been grabbing stuff that's in my like view, and I'm like, I need to intentionally get out of my bubble and be like, what else is out there? So I grabbed a bunch of different books created by women, and this was one of them, and I can't wait to pick up the other ones.
I love
that.
That's it.
And like Red said, I've been going through my collection today and even now, and I just found a good one as long as we're shotgunning. Victoria Douglas for Behemoth wrote a book called Cinnamon, which is one of my absolute favorite recent things. It is a book that switches perspective between a cat owner and the cat, and it is just 3 issues. There it is. of really, really good comics. So there's a shotgun.
Cute.
Look at this. You can flip to a random page and you know it's going to be amazing. Look at that.
So cute. Victoria
To
Douglas.
explain, like the cat's perspective, everything is like a super high octane action movie.
It's so cool.
But then it's like she has a laser pointer.
Yeah.
But the cat is living this like superhero taking down evil villain. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's
so
a delight.
Good.
Such a delight.
And it's very pretty.
Really good quality too. I really love Behemoth's quality of stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that's actually kind of like a really niche, nerdy thing to talk about in the comics world, but like
I'll buy a book if the book is just.
Ooh, it smells real good too, y'all.
That's a selling point.
Does it smell like cinnamon?
You know what it smells like?
No.
It smells like old Source Point before they switched their printing stuff up.
Yeah.
I'm literally getting the
small print
waves of like nostalgia when you smell something. Oh shit! I'm gonna put this in a bag and just like make
find
sure
the smallest. Find the smallest publisher you can, and their book will smell the best.
We need to make that a candle
so
scent.
good.
Yes. Comics.
I just all right. You guys talk about comics. I got like 112 pages I can do this with.
We'll do a comic cocktail hour where it's just us just smelling.
Yeah.
Like just a bouquet.
Compare the bouquets of different publishers.
You gotta
I'm getting a boom.
remember,
yeah,
swirl it a little bit and then spit it out.
It's like 2018 boom.
Ooh, this was
2018 boom is good too.
1982. I think what's also great about Cinnamon is that it was Victoria Douglas's thesis statement in our school.
Yeah.
It was one of her final projects, and
she puts in like the last page of each issue, she puts a couple of like the original Cinnamon panels and stuff that she did in college, and they're great.
Yeah.
My only complaint is that there's only 3. That's my only complaint.
Yes.
It just came out in trade. Go get it. It's great.
Give us 6.
Yeah, or like just
buy the trade so they'll give us the 6.
Yeah.
She was talking about how it was like also her way of growing as a cat owner too, because like it's just her experience. You know what? And Anne, I'll start adding odor, like odor review.
Here, Everyone Reviews is taking that on.
Yes, that's going to be our next phase of.
That's just all I'm gonna say.
And if I read it digitally, I'm just gonna say it smells like my iPad.
Yeah.
I'll just do a video review where I just 7.8.
Girls Talk Comics, a whole episode of just you hear sniffing noises.
ASMR comics.
It's just, are they doing fucking coke lines through this whole goddamn podcast? Jeez. Fuck. She's a good mom. It's well established. No. But we're okay with it.
Yeah.
That's how we became a found family.
There we go.
We all not okay, fam. And it's okay.
Listen, Anne's got a point. Old comics, especially like through that old like image stuff. It has a I get it.
Yeah,
is that going to be one of our panels?
And you can even make that a candle smell.
It's old used bookstore smell. You walk in, Barnes and Noble smells incredible, but you go to a used bookstore where you get like that little must going.
There's
locally it's Argos, and
there's a bookstore.
If you're walking and the floor is uneven and it's
yes,
yep.
There's
a little worried
expansion.
Like your significant other comes near you and it's like maybe just stay a few feet back. I don't know if it can. It's just like
different planks, honey. Different planks.
Yeah, those are that's where you want it.
That's the ones.
There was a bookstore where my wife's family used to live that was in a basement. It was a used bookstore in a basement.
Perfect.
Really great smells there.
Yeah,
and there has to be a
book musk really sits low.
There has to be a moment where you think it's just a little thing, and you turn, and all of a sudden the store is twice as big as you thought it was.
Yes.
It also has to be the moment where you think there's going to be the ghost who's going to start opening shelves and like moving books across. Like there.
If you don't have a Ghostbuster moment, it's not a real good.
It's not a real one.
Are you even at a used bookstore?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Jamie. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the mention of cats got me bringing out Marvel Meow, which is just like page after page of Captain Marvel's cat meeting other Marvel characters and having like fun excursions with them. It's super cute. It's super chill. Marvel Meow.
Okay. Can we see some interior art?
Oh yeah, sure. Let me see.
Are you gonna take a picture of it, Nick, with your phone?
No, I'll just look. Okay. Marvel Meow.
There we go.
I'll just
cool.
get it now.
Okay.
Just get it meow.
I'll just get it now.
Got him.
Stuff shotgunning. Harley Quinn by Stephanie Phillips. Simply because Stephanie Phillips, like everything Stephanie Phillips writes, is amazing. There you go. Like A Man Among Thee, her mythology series, like everything she touches is really top quality stuff. So, and it's her birthday today, so happy birthday to her.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Also, Man Among Thee, so it can come back, please.
Yes, please. Only 8 issues. It's not enough. Enough. Next one, Supergirl being super.
Okay.
Mariko Tamaki, amazing writer. Joelle Jones, amazing artist. Really great stuff. Supergirl, teenager figuring out her powers, also dealing with loss and tragedy. Really great story. My most recent big reading project was Bombshells.
Yes.
Throwback.
All female artists. It's all female writers writing about female DC characters during World War II, and it's only female superheroes. Like it's not like there's Batwoman, but there's no like, oh, Batwoman, just the woman version of Batman. No, it's Batwoman, and that's it. So like they've got 6 volumes of it. Phenomenal stuff. The art's always amazing. You can also read it digitally, so it's also really great stuff.
Legit.
Jane Foster Valkyrie, the series after she stopped being Thor, fantastic. It's really great seeing what happens to her after Thor. Yes, trans-canary agenda. Yes. Yes, very much yes. You get to really you see what she's like after she's Thor, and by the way, it's awesome because she's a doctor working as a coroner, but she's also the Valkyrie who ushers people on to death.
It's so good.
It's really contemplative about like death and everything around it. I bring it up. I got the second volume out because Torrin Grumbeck takes over at that point, writing with Jason Aaron. She's a really great up-and-coming writer with Marvel. Like, she wrote a Warhammer 40K series that made me give a shit about Warhammer 40K.
I've never felt that. So
it was enough to make me not buy the minis, but still give a shit about the characters.
Okay.
Don't do it.
It's definitely check out her work.
If you
Last
like
one,
Warhammer 40K, may I suggest the super underground novel known as Dune?
What? Is it based on the movie that came out?
Yes, it's the novelization of the movie Dune.
Yeah.
All right. As long as it's as good as the novelization of Jurassic Park, I'm there.
There is a specific. It was a Kickstarter. There is a specific graphic novel based on the film Dune. Oddly enough.
Yeah,
I almost bought it because it's good.
I think I tried reading it. It's not.
No?
or
It's
like an
co-
old
it's
one.
it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
I hate it.
Last one I'm going to mention that I have, Thor and Loki Double Trouble.
Hey.
I've decided this is the series I'm going to introduce my daughter when she's old enough to read comics to Thor and Loki, because it's such a sweet teenage Thor, teenage Loki, being silly, being goofy kind of series. Yeah, it's what I'm going to use to introduce her to her. Last thing, it's not out yet, but coming out in May. Galaxy, the Prettiest Star, written by Jadzia Axelrod, introducing the first trans superhero into the DC canon. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Let's
Yes.
go.
So therefore, I'm going to be pushing that book until it comes out, and on
And then
on
afterwards.
and on. I'm so excited.
Till and then after. Yeah.
And my spiel is finished.
Amazing. Good spiel. All right, Aaron. Do you have any shotguns?
I do, but like y'all had cute stuff and fun stuff, and now I'm just gonna be like more sad.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's start with an artist, Colleen Duran. She's been in comic art for a very long time. And she does this kind of watercolor. I think she even still tries to do a lot of stuff by hand and stuff, but it's like gorgeous. She does a lot of stuff with Neil Gaiman in particular. So like that's where you've probably seen her art. She did the Chivalry book recently. This is Snow Glass Apples, which is a horror adaptation of Snow White, by the way. Freaking great story. But I don't remember if she did Trollbridge, which was by him, but she's done a lot of his works, and I think she's done a lot of like some Marvel stuff and like mainline stuff as well. But her art style is just phenomenal. Like phenomenal. So I love kind of just getting anything with her name on it because it's gonna look great. Yes. Power like power art duo, just Gaiman and Doran. It's fucking great. I also have the complete Persepolis as an option by Marjane Satrapi. Never mind. Sorry, words hard. Can't read. Been awake all day. This.
I've been awake all day. I gotta get my pen out again.
There you go.
That was on a mug, by the way.
Yep.
Yes.
I've been awake all day.
I've been awake since I woke up.
I'm just gonna read the little synopsis. It's a unforgettable childhood and coming of age within a large and loving family in Tehran during the Islamic Revolution. One of the contradictions between private and public life in a country plagued by political upheaval. It's of Satrapi's high school years in Vienna, facing the trials of adolescence far from her family, of her homecoming, both sweet and terrible, and finally of her self-imposed exile from her beloved homeland. It's just like it's a classic. It's an older graphic novel. The art is also black and white and just thick inks, but it's a great story of kind of being rebellious, of being trapped between multiple worlds of like womanhood and like childhood, being in a world that has had such significant changes of how like womanhood is treated and femininity is treated, because the Middle East's history is of like feminism is completely varied depending on what other government has their hands in the pot, but it's the complete Persepolis. It also has been adapted into, I think, a French movie, like animated film. And I will like type it out as well, but it's
yeah, I need to grab that. That sounds Awesome.
No, it's really good. It was actually one of my first graphic novel reads when I started getting in it when I was in college. So it's got a lot of love for me for that, and it's just really insightful. It reflects on religion, romance, just life. It's great. Um, I also have a copy of Lucy Sullivan's Barking.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good. Lucy Sullivan, I think, is an up and coming voice. She is uh, she's really kind. I interacted with her on Twitter is where I was going with that. Sorry, there was a note in there because it's got like art in it, but the art is what I love about it is how stylized it is. It's very like pencil and scribble and heavy inks, but it's also about a mental health crisis. So it's I have a theme of books, like stories that I enjoy. Um the character's name is Alex. She is caught in a situation um she can't explain. She's handed over to professionals and sectioned, left alone in a labyrinthian system with her delusions running wild. It's a tale of grief, madness, and the ghosts that haunt us, and also reflective on maybe really shitty treatment in the mental health system. But I thought it was really impactful. I loved that the uh, art, like the bad guy is this ghost of a dog, like, you know, making the metaphor of being hounded quite literal. I love that it looks like it's drawn with a like dull pencil, so you get just this kind of sketchy um art style that it gets more chaotic and more nondescript as you go. It's just really great. I really enjoyed reading that. And my last one is Beasts of Burden Neighborhood Watch. Um, so Evan Dorkin is the author, and he also does like the Milk and Cheese book, I think. But what Jill Thompson was the artist. They won awards for this. And it's also a book that made me cry.
Yep. Yeah.
The premise is like dog supernatural like hunters. They totally like start to see some weird shit. They also have the like really interesting dog culture in their town, right? Like it starts off once where they're having a funeral for somebody and they're like baying and like just saying words over like um their collar in the middle of the it was like, oh my god, there's like this dog culture to it. But then they start seeing some weird shit and they call the wise dogs or whatever they are, who are these like very knowledgeable supernatural dog hunters who come in and pretty much empower this little quintet of dogs and their cat like into becoming their own local kind of wise dogs as well. Jill Thompson does this really great kind of like watercolor esque inky style. A lot of washes, I feel like. But it does get some like pretty harsh topics and contents. As supernatural stories usually do. So do not be like me where you're reading it before you go to work.
Oh no.
And your partner and his friend are sitting on the couch playing video games because it's like the afternoon and it's your side job or whatever, and you're just weeping. Like, and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, it's so good, it's so sad. And they're like, stop reading. And I'm like, no, like as I'm just sobbing openly in the middle of my living room.
Yep.
Maybe
it's one of those.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. It is definitely one of those. Keep it, pace yourself through it. But the art, like Jill does an amazing job with it. And I don't think her name is on all the stories, which is a little, but she really emotes the animals well without having to anthropomorphize them. And it really gets to show a range of her skills by being able to draw cats, dogs, sheep, and raccoons and humans and stuff,
Mises.
and demons. It's great. Just a range. Just a range. So I think that was all that I have one manga I could recommend. Die Dark.
Oh my god, that's right. I had Gohidro.
It's the same person.
I know, yeah. That's what made me remember. It's like I had Q. Yeah. That's right.
Q. Oh my god, her sense of humor is so dark.
It's so fucking dark. It's right up my.
So dark.
I love it, and it is fucking dark.
So good, but
it's so good.
Dora Hidoro is on Netflix as an anime, so you could totally watch it versus reading it. But like,
I'm not a huge manga person, but I really like this book.
Yeah, it's like so good, and the way like she drew death in Die Dark is just like I don't know. Can y'all see that? Like,
hello.
Yeah. Right? Hi. I'm like, hi, what?
Here's the balance. Here's a dude with a heart for a head.
Okay, no, Todd, Aaron. Hi.
No, over here, look at Hearthead. I'm Hearthead. Same person drew me.
You got the range, right?
Yep.
Like, she got the range. So it's definitely, and even in Die Dark, there's some scenes where I'm like,
have lips.
Like, she.
Boo, Todd, boo.
Like, this is the hero in Die Dark. Yeah. He has a weapon that when he hits people in the head with it, it melts all their skin. It's Spain. So yeah, in the book you have Death, who doesn't look like that all the time, mind you. And then everything else that happens. People melting. If you want sexy death and melting people, Die Dark.
Man.
It's
everything.
Yeah.
Can I recommend one more? I forgot one.
Ooh.
Sure.
And I'm kicking myself. I forgot it.
For shame.
Stephanie
Die!
Hahn. Die. Just
from Die Dark to
phenomenal.
Mind-blowing shit.
She's hands down my favorite artist right now. The work she does in Die is just
it's so good.
Amazing.
It's so good.
So yeah.
So good.
That's my favorite comic, and I will. If you keep coming back to our streams, you're going to hear me talk about it a lot.
I mean,
yeah, because her art is just phenomenal.
We'll give you every excuse to talk about it if you want.
Would you die on the Die Hill?
All right, Todd's done for the night.
Jamie won't die on the diet.
Die, bye. Na.
Die's incredible.
Yes.
Yes, Die, not threatening.
Yes.
Yeah. And when we were talking earlier about issues that you keep around just to read to cry, Die issue 19.
Yeah.
Issue 19. The Balrog moment, just like.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
I thought my puns were bad.
Yeah. Sorry, I was distracted by trying to find like really intense, disgusting artwork in Die Dark, and I will give you multiple occasions to bring up Die later. Another related Die non-threatening story is when you're saying "give me" in Russian, it is Die, and I know somebody, or the story is that friends had adopted a young boy from Russia who would just say, die. And they're like, why is he telling us to die? And like,
what have we done?
It's like, no, he just wants candy. Like, it's just, I don't know. I think that's hilarious. And now there's multiple versions of Die. Die Dark. Die. Like, Die.
What is dying?
Die. Dark. Okay.
Wow.
I don't know. I've been awake since I woke up.
Yep, I've been awake all day.
Me too.
Yeah, I think we gave quite a few recommendations. We've listed our Golden Taco winner. We've listed Todd, I'm trying to focus and be Stephanie Phillips. I can't remember names now. Q Hayashida. Like we've talked about Captain Marvel. We've talked about Chelsea Kane, Rachel Smith. Like
we created several new Boom titles.
We created.
We've been very productive on that front.
Yes, look for those in previews
soon.
You know what we should do is we should get the list of all of these that we've recommended. Twitter thread.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Same. I was thinking we can go back through, get all the recs, and put them on the site, put them on Twitter.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of everything, and I couldn't. It's
N.K. Jemisin.
N.K. Jemisin, yes. Who was somebody else that? What?
Stephanie Phillips, Mariko Tamaki.
Yes, Peach Momoko.
Yep.
Jody Hauser.
Jody Hauser, yeah. Nick, who else did you bring up?
Gail Simone.
There you go. So yeah, we've got a couple lady names for y'all to look for. And like read comics with women on the creative team because they're there and they need to be supported. And I swear to God, if they could build up their portfolio and their portfolios are supported, they'll get hired more. That's how it works. Anyway, love you.
That's a really long Boom book.
It's almost systematic.
Yeah.
It's almost like that.
It's almost systematic.
Stop this bullshit of these books don't sell. So man,
we all bought them.
We bought the singles and the trade, motherfucker.
Exactly. Yup.
Yeah.
In some cases, made our own hardcovers.
Yeah, I will show that as soon
in
as
some
I
cases,
have it.
Nick accidentally bought 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Double support.
Oops.
Double support.
In there.
Gotta give him the double support.
Yeah.
Just like a good bra. All right.
I was literally trying to like go around that joke. I love it.
I can make those jokes. I wear bras.
That's fine.
Do you wear bras, Todd?
You don't know me. We're internet friends.
Do you?
Do you?
Anywho.
Anyway, thanks for joining us for Comic Cocktail Hour. Keep an eye out for more. We love all of you being here. Bye.
Bye.